Hello students, I am Abdhesh. We are going to discuss the question answer of chapter 2 of history of class ninth. The title of the chapter is Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Now we are going to discuss question answer of this chapter. First question is, what were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905? The answer is social condition. Russian society was divided into three classes: the clergy, nobility, and the working class. Slavery was abolished in 1861, but the peasants, who continued 85% of the population, had to pay heavy taxes for small holdings. It means the percentage of the peasant was 85%. Second, economic condition. After industrialization, many factories were set up by industrialists. The wages were minimum and the working hours were sometimes 15 hours a day or more than 15 hours a day. The condition of the workers was miserable. The state treasury was bankrupt due to heavy expenditure. Political cause or political condition. Under the autocratic rule of Tsar Nicholas II, the Russian Empire was vast and federal. The disastrous defeat of Russia in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 had eroded the prestige of Tsar Nicholas II. The second question is, in what ways was the working population in Russia different from other countries in Europe before 1917? The answer is, the five differences between the peasants of Russia and peasants of Europe are: first, about 85% of Russians were agriculturists. It means they were farmers, whose percentage is 85%, whose population is 85% of the total population of Russia. But in France and Germany, the farmers were between 40% to 50%. Second, industrialization started late in Russia, and industries were only found in small pockets. It means in small numbers. Workers were a divided social group and maintained strong links with the villages they had come from. Third point is, in Europe, the Industrial Revolution changed mainly rural society into an urban one. Fourth point is, in Russia, sometimes the working hours for workers were 15 hours, compared with 10 or 12 hours in Europe. Fifth, in France, during French Revolution, the French peasants respected nobles and also fought for them. But in Russia, peasants wanted a land of the nobles. They refused to pay rent and even murdered landlords. Question number third is, why did the Tsarist autocracy collapse in 1917? The answer is, the Tsarist autocracy collapsed in 1917 due to social, economic, and political reasons. At first, social reasons. In the First World War, the defeat of the Russian army was shocking and demoralizing. There were over 7 million casualties and 3 million refugees by 1917. The rest of the population became hostile to the Tsar. Economic reasons. There were labor shortages due to the participation of able-bodied men in the war, which led to the shutdown of many small factories. Moreover, large quantities of grain were sent to feed the army. For the people in cities, bread and flour became expensive and scarce. This scarcity led to the riots at bread shops. People became very dissatisfied with the policies of the Tsar. Political cause, political reasons. Tsar Nicholas II was an autocratic, inefficient, and weak ruler who believed in the divine rights of the king. The bureaucracy got special rights. The bureaucracy got special rights and privileges, but the general public got none. Moreover, the Tsar had built a vast empire and imposed Russian language and culture on diverse nationalities. A large number of the Russian Empire became hostile to the Tsar and his corrupt bureaucracy. All these factors led to discredit of the government and brought about the end of the Tsarist autocracy. In the next video, we will discuss the rest question answer. Question number 4, 5th and 6th.